Is it working?
I think we're good to go.
What's up? I gotta restart that. What's up? Welcome to Part Timers. This is episode 2 of our podcast. My name is Lane. I have an arrow in the knee.
I'm Miguel. I used to be an adventurer.
You should have said, I'm Miguel. I'm the one who shot it.
I thought you were making a Skyrim reference.
I did. I have an arrow in the knee. That was a Skyrim
I
reference.
used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow to the knee.
Okay, that makes sense. I kind of want to restart that.
No, I love it, dude. I love it. Just keep it. Because I love Skyrim, dude.
I'm saying like we started with the same intro, but me not being like, no, you should have said that. You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to go with the depressed thing again.
No. I'm going to do one every episode.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of pressure for me.
No, it's not.
I'm not quick-witted like that.
We can talk about it before.
Okay.
Or we can alternate between each episode. So you say it and then I come back.
I can't do that.
Well,
I can't be put on the spot like that.
Dude.
I mean, I might come up with something, but it might not be appropriate.
Then we ain't gonna say it to you.
Yeah. I mean, we could just take it out if it doesn't work.
That is true.
Yeah. But
man, I think we should restart.
But see, this is why. Okay, so this is the issue that we talked about having. You know, is we need to stay focused and we need to really set a structure for the podcast and not just sit here and ramble, because that's gonna be really fucking hard for us to do. Because I mean,
we talk like wild people,
bro. Like we got an issue or something. Yeah.
We do have an issue. But yeah, we talk.
I heard that. Damn, sorry.
It's fine. I still think we should restart.
No, I think we should keep this going. I think this...
What, like the personality was?
Well, I mean, yeah, because this is something we're trying to establish.
That's true.
We're horrible at this. Okay?
Terrible.
So
I shouldn't be eating a cinnamon roll while I'm doing this. That's probably not etiquette.
They're so good.
They are so good.
God.
Publix.
Sponsor.
Publix. Shout us out. You got the best cinnamon rolls in the world.
It's a grocery store, guys. Not everybody's gonna know that.
Yeah, I forget.
There's so many different grocery stores out there.
The world don't revolve around me, I forget.
Yeah. Welcome. But no, what I was talking about is, again, this is the issue that we're going to be having with this podcast, is we need to figure out like a subject that we can fixate on.
And a time limit.
Right, exactly.
We got the time under control, I feel like.
And that's something that we want to discuss with you guys is, you know, the length of the podcast. Everybody talks about it. You listen to a lot of podcasts, and some people get their audience asking them to shorten it or go longer, you know. So we're just trying to find a comfort zone for ourselves.
Well, see, so from my experience, when I turn on a YouTube video, if it's 40 minutes long or 50 minutes, dude, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
If it's 20 minutes or less, I'm not gonna even pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it's gonna be all over the place.
But then how do you feel about some podcasts that are like an hour 59 minutes or 2 hours 20 minutes? I just won't
turn it on
really?
until I go to sleep. But here's the thing, I wouldn't mind if people listen to us. I wouldn't mind if people actually cared about what we were saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reason we have this podcast. I want you to laugh. So I want you to understand that we're actually saying some funny shit. Sometimes. Sometimes we're awful.
Sometimes. But see...
You didn't say nothing.
Oh man,
that airplane went right over your head. You said, and then
I just kind of lost track of it.
Yeah, and that, I mean, we're gonna be bad at it because we haven't done this before.
Yeah,
and when we do talk, we do take a lot of pauses.
That's what I'm saying. We ramble. We really
ramble on and on.
We really ramble,
and
it's
and
ridiculous. We get lost in the conversation.
I have so many conversations on my phone that we like of us sitting there talking, and dude, it takes forever for us to finally be like, okay, maybe we need to stop talking and actually like not hang out with each other again.
Right. I mean, we'll see, and that's the thing. We barely hang out
we really do. Yeah, and so we have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah. So we always have. That's why we ramble, because we always have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's in like, and I mean, I sit there and I'm an advocate of quality over quantity,
and I love that because I'm the exact same way. Like, I could hang out with you every day and it just be boring, bland, and whatever.
Yeah, not good.
I'm more of a quality over quantity. Like, I'd rather every moment we hang out, it be awesome and fun and eventful or inspiring, or productive or whatever it be, rather than it just be all the time doing jack shit.
Yeah. Just, I mean...
So that's why we tend to ramble. But as far as the length of the podcast, I think our comfort zone is probably going to be at like a maximum like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Because like I personally like a really long podcast. I think sometimes 40 minutes is too short.
Well, if it's educational, I get it.
Yeah. But like, even a majority of the time, all the podcasts I listen to, all of them are at least like an hour and a half.
See, what podcasts do you listen to?
I do listen to a lot of horror podcasts.
Really?
I love that kind of stuff,
like,
dude.
People that tell stories?
Yeah.
Wow, there's podcasts dedicated to people telling stories?
Like one of the most popular ones, like the No Sleep podcast.
No, I never heard of it.
Oh, they're so good. They've been doing this for so many years. If you guys don't know about them, definitely check them out. But everybody knows about them. They're so incredible.
I mean,
that's insane. Are you a big podcast listener?
I don't listen to podcasts.
Really? But how are you gonna make a podcast and not listen to podcasts?
Now, I don't know.
Grow up.
I mean, I just like music, man. Music is my life.
I mean,
I love music, and so I don't find time to listen to podcasts whenever I'm just like, okay, I'll really like this song right about now.
Yeah.
So I mean, it depends on what you like. So like, I'm really big into music. I mean, you see I got a mic, I got a MIDI keyboard. I mean, I have a styrofoam thing that covers your voice, so I'm like,
you do have that.
I'm big into music
cool.
and making music, so that's what I focus on. So I don't focus on podcasts, other podcasts.
I get that.
You know what I mean? And So Scared, I mean, I think I've heard a couple of their clips, online and stuff.
Oh yeah, you have, that you did mention, that you know. Because that's why I assume you watch podcasts. Because I know you do follow podcasters on other social media platforms.
Yeah, we've talked about a couple of podcasts just to kind of get a stable structure on how to make one.
Yeah, but that's why I thought you actually watched them. But it's just the clips that came.
Yeah, it's just the clip.
Because some of them, I will say, because some of them do drag on a little bit. Sometimes they can be shorter. So again, that's why we're trying.
Now, how long is the No Scare podcast? How does they?
That one, I think that can run from usually like an hour to an hour and a half, or 2.5 hours.
I kind of want to hear one.
Oh, they're so good, dude. They're so good.
What's your favorite horror story?
Dude, there's hundreds of episodes, so I can't even pin one down. It's just they're all so good in their own way.
Maybe we'll be good enough.
Yeah, we'll have to listen
our own way.
You'll have to listen.
Oh no, we'll listen.
So
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Again, because how long have we been rambling now? It's just, this is something we're trying to find our groove in, and eventually we're gonna shut up and we're gonna try to figure out like a subject or two, to talk about.
We're actually gonna have a decent podcast,
right?
Not just a crappy one.
Exactly.
But I mean, I do feel like on the topic that I want y'all to actually understand what we're saying. It's like I mean, we have some pretty funny moments.
Yeah.
in our
yeah.
podcast. I mean, we had stories to tell out the wazoo, in which we're gonna end up saying them at some point. I mean, like,
I really just kind of want to drop like hints because I know you told me not to say certain things.
no, I know that, but like,
let's talk about the homeless issue.
Let's okay, but let's hint. Okay, that's a hint. So we have a hint. We have a whole episode that's probably going to come out that we seriously talk about a time that we went out one night and like we have a homeless story to tell. But on the flip side, a funnier story, we're talking about the Mormons.
Oh my God! I can't believe you brought up the Mormons.
We're not gonna talk about it. We're gonna leave them like edging almost.
Oh God!
But we're not gonna say anything. But that episode is gonna be that's gonna.
I
be
apologize.
That's
my bad. That's my bad.
But that was, I mean, that's a great part. And then we even, I mean, talking about girls, relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a girl one time. Was it with you? I think it was. I don't know.
What?
I don't know if it was with you. It was something about a girl. And I don't think, no, that might not have been with you. Ah, man, now I feel bad.
What?
Huh?
I don't know. Which girl?
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying.
Well, are you talking about my one ex that died from an overdose?
No.
Or the ex-fiancée that killed herself?
Dude.
Well, which one are you talking about?
Well, I can't laugh now. You just... Like, what am I supposed to say about that?
Well, what am I supposed to do?
None of them.
You know, it's the reality. Well, which one?
I don't know.
The native?
Huh?
The native? Tiny Asian?
No.
The crazy black bitch?
No.
The furry bitch.
You had a furry? No. You have a furry?
I fucked around with a furry girl.
A furry?
Yeah.
Did she wear the mask?
No,
She just had it in the corner watching.
No. She didn't have all of that stuff, but she had like these cat ear things that she had put on her head. Because we matched on Tinder. I went to her place and we hung out and I saw like all the little stuff. Like she had like cat mittens and just got cat stuff. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, you cosplay. That's, you know, I'm like, that's pretty hot.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, oh, she's like, yeah. She's like, I'm actually a furry. You know, we're like talking about that.
Wow.
I'm like, because at the time I was a little like,
well, what do you mean at the time? You still?
I didn't really know much about it, so I was like, oh, okay. I'm like,
well, give us some context.
Well, and
comments, check them, fact check them.
Yeah, please.
Go ahead.
Furries are people that, I mean, pretty much they just find animals attractive. Not necessarily animals in general. Yeah. More often than not, that's pretty much what furries lead to is bestiality. But for furries,
I didn't expect you to.
No, but that's pretty much what it is.
Oh man.
But it's the cartoon animated version of that. And instead of actually having sex with animals, they're just more attracted and more sexually identified as an animal.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's why they'll wear suits and they'll act like an animal and like, dude, it's weird.
Did you think that? Did she?
No, because again, you know, I'm just curious. I'm never gonna say no. I want to know. I can't say I don't like it if I haven't tried, and I don't judge.
And you're very good at faking. And what you do and do not really do and do not know, but you do and do not believe.
Yeah,
you fake it so well.
I do.
I've caught on to it, so I know when it's different.
I do.
And that. But yeah, did she think that you was like a bear? That's why she wanted to.
No, so I mean, we just matched and we just hit it off. She was kind of funny, and she thought I was really funny, obviously.
Oh, shut your mouth. Get out.
But no,
here.
So I mean, like I said, we just hit it off. We hung out, and then we eventually hung out again. And we went to her place, and I saw all that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. What is all that? In my head, I just thought, you know, genuinely it was like cosplay, just like a sexy cosplay. And she said furry, and when she said furry, I was like, I know what that is. I'm like, well, let me just act like I don't. You know, so I told her, because I also genuinely didn't know too much about it. I knew the gist of it, but she did explain it in depth, and I was like, that's even weirder. But
it's
she was
weirder than
just
what
she
it
was
is.
just like pretty. She was pretty and she was super cool. So I really feel bad because
I mean, what
towards
kinda-
the end, I really just I should have just been honest with her because she was super cool. I mean, we hit it off. If she wasn't a fucking furry, like I probably would have dated her.
So,
but it's just
hold on.
she.
What does she look like? No, don't describe it. Let's go from like a greyhound to a pit bull.
I don't understand the concept of women to dogs.
I'm talking about what does she look like, man?
I can't. Again, I don't understand.
Think of the greyhound. What's a greyhound?
A greyhound is a very ugly dog.
No.
Yes.
The other part of it.
Oh, skinny.
To a pit bull.
Oh God.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Trying to think.
I'm thinking
More.
I'm leaning more pit bull.
No, I was gonna say more. You know, Kayla's build,
That's really
bigger tits.
wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Little bit of a butterface, but she was like I said. I like because I feel like I'm like very average looking, and I don't like very pretty women. I really don't.
Really?
Like, well, because again, like I feel like I'm relatively confident, and I've gotten well above my pay grade. Like I've gotten with some women that I definitely never thought I would get with. You know, very pretty.
I wish.
But I've had such a better time and such a better like relationship with people that were more on my level, you know? And that's not to say ugly women, that's to say average women. Women that aren't conventionally pretty, but they're pretty in certain little aspects, like the way they smile, the way like a twitch in their eye, or just their personality in general. It's like that is more attractive because it's just a person, you know. I feel like I'm being with a person. I'm getting along with a person, not just somebody that's pretty, you know, because that is so overrated after a while, you know. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a bad
they're
bitch.
always pretty.
Yeah, well, it's just like there's such a certain level of maintenance to very pretty women that I just genuinely don't care about because I'm not a high maintenance person, and I don't want a high maintenance woman. And when I say high maintenance woman, like my roommates used to be like, oh, I'm like, but that's not how I mean it. I'm like, I mean it as a woman who always thinks they need to constantly be looking pretty and dolled up and gorgeous 24/7 just to be okay. You know, it's like I don't give a fuck how you look.
See, I don't really like makeup, so like
I can't stand it.
At the same time, it's like, yeah,
a little bit is nice. A little bit is always nice.
Yeah,
like just like a guy should know exactly how to take care of himself. Right. You know, it's like
my
you do
ex
those
wore
little
literally
things.
bronzer and mascara, and that's it.
Yeah, see,
and she looked great all the time.
Yeah.
And I actually thought she looked weirder whenever she put on full face of makeup for like prom and all that different stuff. So like, yeah, I don't mind. I don't like high maintenance women. I like women who not really
true to themselves.
True to themselves for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, some girls don't need to be true to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, I like women who can take care of themselves.
Yeah.
But whenever it's time to, like, you're pretty without makeup, but you're even prettier with makeup. That I think that's what I like. Like, if you need to get dolled up, I want to sit there and be like, girl, I'm rocking with a baby.
But see, and that's what I like too. I love that, dude. It's like me. Look at me. Look at her.
I know.
Now, like, how the fuck, man?
And that's what I want to. That's what I want to have. I was like, man, look at me. Look at this bitch. She crazy good, cuz. But like, I've had a couple girls that I talked to, and I was like, holy cow. But I guess I'm too weird or ugly or something. I'm something. I'm not right though. I'm the who dodged me, hit me with the miss. Yeah, okay. Ridiculous.
Oh man, but see, okay, this is what I'm talking about. To bring it back to our original point, we are completely off topic. Why did we even get here?
How did we get here?
Why did we even get here? Why?
I don't know. We just keep talking.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's figure this out.
We need to figure out. I think as a podcast in general,
Yeah.
people like regular conversations that they have with somebody, but people also like to get knowledge from.
We're not
podcast.
very smart people.
No.
No.
And we have nothing to talk about.
We really
Like knowledgeable wise, like I feel like I can bring up a subject and then you'll sit there and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, did you know?" For me, like I might say that about video games.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say that about real life.
Because I mean, I can ramble off a lot, and you'll be like, "Huh, I didn't know that."
And I would be like, you know, and I'll just be like, "What's going on?" But if we sit there, you know, I don't know what people want in a podcast. That's the bad thing about it.
Well, see, and that's the thing. It's like that's why you always got to kind of like. I think we'd try to fall under comedy, because
For the most part,
I think we're both relatively funny. You know, I would like to like, I don't know. Sometimes like I would like to maybe touch on some big notes that are like going on in the world.
Yeah,
I think it's just important for us to be, you know, knowledgeable about what's going on. Again, like nothing political, nothing controversial. You know, just in general what people are talking about.
Yeah,
you know.
And I feel like some episodes we might do that's going to touch on touchy objects, or emotional objects, just because that's how we are. We like. There's some times when we sit there and we talk and we're just like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not in the best mood. I'm not having a good day and all that different stuff. And that's when the other person comes over there and kind of picks us up and turns it. I mean, we start to talking. We end up happy towards the end of both of us. So I know those conversations right there, we're not going to be able to talk on a podcast because that doesn't really. I mean, for y'all, it wouldn't make sense. But as a friend point, it would if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just rambling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Lord have mercy.
You're definitely rambling.
We're just keep talking about random nothingness. I tried to teach you about something, and it just fell in the dust.
We said that would happen. We said that would happen.
God.
Okay, let's figure out. So in general, I mean, I think what we want is just like a casual, funny podcast, you know, and I think we get more involved with different things, you know, as we progress. You know, if the fan base, you know, wants to be more involved, we would love for that, you know. But otherwise, we can just, I mean, tell our lives, you know, make jokes, you know, and just see what everybody responds to. Because, I mean, like one thing that everybody talks about is, like, first time you had a drink, you know, first time you got drunk. So it's like, what was your first experience when you got drunk?
Mine?
Yeah.
So it's difficult because I don't want to say which one. And the reason why I say which one
list your, like, one of your best three. One of your first 3 times you got completely blacked out.
Well, I've only...
Because I got a lot of those.
I've only completely blacked out twice. The first... Well, not really blacked out. I was just really drunk. It was the first time I ever got drunk.
Okay.
In an RV. That's all you need to know. Let me tell you about the second time, though. The second time was on my 21st birthday. So, like, I started drinking when I was, like, 20. Mm-hmm. So, that was a little bit of a late starter. Okay? And that's okay. But I was 20 years old, and then I was 21. Whenever I turned 21, I remember my birthday. We was like, oh, let's go, let's get hyped, let's drink all of our stomachs out. So at the party, I had my family over and all that different stuff, and my uncle, who is the biggest party person I've ever met.
Was that the same uncle we ran into?
No, that was not my uncle. That was my cousin.
God, okay, cousin, right?
Yeah, right. But that side of the family, yes. So he brought over a bottle of Fireball and shot glasses. He was like, "Let's get lit," and like I said, I haven't been drunk. I've only been drunk once before that. I really haven't drank anything before that except like a couple of Seagrams.
Yeah.
So I hated the taste of beer. I was like, I'm never going to taste it, all this sort of stuff. So when we at the party, I had like 2 or 3 glasses of wine, which I thought bougie. Okay, I thought bougie wasn't bougie.
Yeah,
it was
not
just
really.
It was just weird.
It's wine.
Yeah, it was just weird. But and then after everyone left the party, like my grandmother and all that stuff, it was just my friends, and my uncle even went home to take the kids home. So he left. It was just my friends, and we just kept popping back Fireball, kept popping back, waiting for these people we knew we had a DD. We knew we had 2 DDs.
Okay.
My aunt and my friend who doesn't drink. So all he does is smoke. But he just, I mean, so we knew that he was driving, and we knew that my aunt was driving. So we just decided to go crazy. And one of my friends didn't come. If you're listening to this, you can suck one. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we ended up taking a bunch of shots of Fireball, got hammered right before we went out. And then we finally went out. We kind of straightened up, kind of tried to sober up a little bit to get into the bar. And we went to this place in Chattanooga called Whiskey Cowgirl. Paid our money. They checked my ID. They was like, oh, that's happy birthday. Come on in. Which I did. I was scared to because I had to bring my paper. So I couldn't bring my license. I had to bring a piece of paper. And then they let us in. And we went, we got in there. We was like, let's get drinks. What do you want? I was like, shit, I've never really had alcohol. So I was like, man, a double Jack and Coke. Not knowing what it was. Like, I didn't fully grasp the fact that it was a double shot of Jack and then just like a little bit of Coke. Because I make them now. As a bartender, I make them. So I know now that, double Jack and Coke is a lot of alcohol. So I sat there and I drank it. I was like, ooh, I don't know about that one. And then I was like, whatever, I'm drunk anyways. So I drank it, and it went down pretty smooth. And I was like, I'm just gonna buy another one.
Delicious.
Bought another one, or my friend bought the first one, and then I bought this one, and then my uncle bought the third one, and then a girl or somebody bought me the fourth one. So I had 4 shots or 4 double Jack and Cokes. And then not including the 8 Fireball I had before and the 3 glasses of wine. Dude, when I tell you, I barely remember. And this is when my room was upstairs.
Yeah.
So we had the bed right there, and we would hop in it and like go slump. And me and this other girl was hammered. Everyone else was pretty sober. Me and this other girl hammered, gone. And we was watching New Girl. I mean, we was.
Dude. New Girl.
Okay, it's beautiful. I love New Girl.
Talk about it later.
Yes,
we'll talk about it
New
later.
Girl is so good.
It's amazing.
We don't need to ramble it, but New Girl's so much. She's hot too. Whatever.
I want to talk about this now.
No. I gotta finish my story. So we was sitting in bed and all this watching New Girl. We just passed out, and I remember a couple times where I've actually got up and like threw myself off the stairs.
Oh my god!
And just kept saying wee. It just flew myself down the stairs, and my dad was sitting there watching me with one of my buddies, just sitting there and was like sober as I get out, just having a regular conversation, and then you have my drunk ass just wee. They had to watch me, man. I was on patrol alert. I was on alert. And I say whatever I want to when I'm drunk. Yeah. Like I had this girl come in. This was like, I'm backtracking to the bar. It was at the end where the girl came in. She was a worker at Pizza Bros, and she was like, "Anyone want pizza?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "All right." And then I said, "What's your name?" And she said, "Eve." I said, "Eve?" And she was like, "Yeah." I said, "Fuck you, Eve." And she was like, "Why did you say that?" I said, "Because you make Adam eat that fruit." And at the beginning of the fight, I said, "You made Adam eat that fruit. You turned us all into these sinners." And I was sitting there just,
oh my god!
I was going at this girl for her name being Eve. She said, "What's your name?" I said, "Lane." She's like, "Fuck you, Lane." And it was just a funny interaction. We ended up hugging it out, and then we walked to the car, and then that's when the story was jumping down the stairs. And the thing is, I woke up, wasn't hungover at all.
Really?
Surprising.
See, that's must be nice to be young, dude. I swear.
I know.
Just give it a couple of years. I'm telling you,
It's gonna hurt. I know. Man, I ain't looking forward to it. I kind of feel the effects like now.
God,
it ain't gonna be good. I'm not sure if I'm ready for it.
I mean, I'll get onto the subject of like my first time like really drinking, but man, I think I've told you before, but like my hangovers got so bad after I went to a winery with an ex. And if you've ever been hungover on wine, dude, you want to just off yourself. It is so bad. I mean, it's the sugar. It's all that sugar, dude. Like, since then, like, my hangovers have never been the same. They have been worse. Like, a wine, dude, I was out of commission for like 2 damn days. And I didn't feel normal for like a week.
Holy.
And like I have like 4 or 5 beers, and I'm like, my stomach the next day, I'm like, like tomorrow morning I'm gonna be like that. I'm gonna be like, ugh, my stomach.
Really?
Dude, it messed me up ever since. I won't do hard liquor anymore. That just, it puts me out, dude. If I'm hungover for 3 days.
That's awful.
It's horrible.
It hasn't gotten that
so
far,
bad. It sucks. I can still drink people under the table, but it sucks.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. So, what was your first time actually getting drunk? Or
my first time?
Probably not your first time, but like.
No, my first
best.
time getting hammered, I hung out with a God, what was his name? Rob. Such a cool guy. I was young at the time. And he was this older dude that I worked with, and he was just so fucking cool, and he was so fucking funny, and he was just like me. Like he would just antagonize and instigate situations and make them worse. Like I could talk about this now because I don't think they're ever gonna hear it, but it was a place that I used to work at in Chicago. And my boss, or at least my supervisor, his name was Jesus. And this girl that worked there at the time, her name was Anita. And they got into it, like, really fucking bad. And the whole time, Rob, he was just like, oh, shit. Jesus, you gonna let her talk to you like that? You gonna let this bitch talk to you like that? And, like, egging him on. And he's like, Rob, shut the fuck up. He's like, I'm just saying, Anita, damn, like, you're being disrespected too. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? And she's like yelling at Jesus, calling him a bitch, calling him a fucking asshole, calling him a pervert. And I'm there and I'm dying. I am dying laughing because he is just egging them on. And he's just by me, he's like, it's fucking ridiculous, right? What a fucking place we work for, right? Can you believe how inappropriate they're being? He was such a fucking asshole. He was such an asshole. It was so funny.
Oh my God.
It was so funny. But I hung out with him, and he was kind of a bougie dude. He had a shit ton of imported liquors and wines and beers and ciders and just all kinds of shit, dude. And he kept a beer. Hey, I got this imported from Japan. Hey, I got this from Germany. Hey, I got this from Ireland. Hey, I got this from the UK. This alcohol is actually, this bottle of vodka, actually, I got my buddy to get it from Russia for me. You know, so he had all these fancy ass bottles. And the dude was just, here's another drink. Hey, well, before you finish that beer, let's take a shot.
Ugh.
Let's do.
And is that the first time you actually got drunk? Is
hammered? Because I mean, I think it was 19 at that time. Because I started working at this place at 17 or 18. I think 17. I started working at this place, and I didn't really go out with anybody or hang out with anybody. I just lived right down the street, kind of like the situation now.
Yeah.
And I really just kept to myself. I was in the middle of trying to go to college, and that just kind of fell apart. But I eventually started working there full time, and yeah, he was the one person that I started hanging out with, and then I went to his place because I wanted to buy a bike because I needed a bike. So I went to his place, gave him the money for the bike. We sat there, we drank, then we grilled out, then we drank and we drank and we drank. And I remember on the way back, I tied up my bike somewhere because I was too fucked up because I almost ran a woman down with my bike because I was all over the place. And I hopped on the bus and I just gone. And then I remember coming to at my bus stop and rushing off. And then as soon as I set foot off, gone. I don't even remember leaving his place. I just remember running into this woman, tying up my bike, getting on a bus, getting off the bus, and then coming to like 2-3 orders of chicken nuggets from McDonald's, the 20-piece meals. So I had like almost 60 nuggets. I think like 60 nuggets, 40,
Holy
60 nuggets
cow.
in front of me. Like most of them were gone. And I just remember coming to and eating them and being like, oh, okay, I gotta get home. I gotta finish these chicken nuggets. And then
Oh my Lord.
I remember walking out of the McDonald's, and then I remember making it home. And then I remember throwing up in my bed and then like putting my arms around the throw up because I was just so fucking hammered.
Oh my
I
God.
passed out. I woke up and I did not move at all. And I looked, I was like, I threw up right there and I'm pretty much cuddling with it.
Ew.
So it wasn't on me, but there was a big pile in the middle. I was just like laying there with my arms around it. Out, dude.
I would still have to take a shower. That smell probably stuck for you.
I threw out my fucking bed sheets. I threw out my fucking bed sheets.
I mean, your mattress is covered too.
No, it actually did. It actually wasn't
good.
that bad. Thank God.
Ugh, that's so nasty.
I had to throw out my blanket and my bed sheets though because it was on those.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I don't have a puking story.
Oh,
like
dude, they are not fun.
No.
I will cry like a bitch when I'm throwing up. Like I don't cry for shit. If I'm crying, it's because I'm throwing up. Because if I'm throwing up, I'm not just throwing up once or twice. I'm throwing up for like the better part of a half hour.
Oh, we probably don't
and
even
that
talk
is
about
miserable,
that.
dude.
Ugh.
I'm holding the toilet, crying like a bitch, like please.
Oh, dude,
begging
you're gonna trigger so many people by doing that.
Yeah, let me not do that.
Yeah, because especially Kim,
Kim does have an issue.
She has
with
a
that.
gag reflex almost that she can't even make a sound about her.
That's good to know.
In which people like
I'm
that.
totally doing that.
Do it next time you see her.
I will.
Do it.
I will. I did not know that about her.
Yeah.
She gets scared for like no reason, dude.
She does get scared.
I just walked past her. She was. I was like, what is your problem? I'm like, you need to be more aware.
I mean, I would sit there and be like, just walking past her, and she would just.
She gets
I'm like,
so
what are you doing?
scared. She gets so scared.
I forget they can't see us, so we're
they can't. But she just gets so scared.
It's adorable. It's funny.
But that was my drinking story. So that
Yeah.
was the first time, and that really just kind of like I was kind of over drinking after that. But I mean, of course, you keep drinking. But I've never really been a fan of like heavy drinking. I mean, every time that I do, I'll be like I said, I could talk for an hour about this. You know, I'll tell you about one time. So like, one of the last times that I got like hammered was on my roommate's 21st birthday party. And it's embarrassing for me because, God, she just turned 21, and I think I was 27, 27 or 28. I think it was 28.
Oh, young one.
So because she was a waitress that used to work at my restaurant, and me and my ex that I used to date at the same restaurant I worked for, we moved in together, and then we moved her in because she was a friend of my ex's and kind of a friend of mine, but we moved her in and we just hit it off with her. You know, she was one of the only people that was really there for us to help us move. Everybody else kind of ignored us, so she would really put herself out there. So we gave her the opportunity to move in with us so she can get out of her home, which she was trying to get out of forever. And I offered her a deal, you know, to only pay a certain amount. I'm like, because I think it's fair. I'm like, you should pay more. I'm like, but this is what we're going to expect from you. But Why was I talking about
I have no... Dude, did you not see me? I was like...
Yeah, why
Wait a second. What did we start out with?
What did we start out with?
How did we even get to this point?
Roommate.
How did you get the roommate?
I don't know. How did I...
We was talking about being drunk or alcohol.
No,
and then
so
you was like,
the same girl. So that's how we moved her in. We moved her in, so she was young when she moved in. But I worked with her. Sorry, I don't know why I went on that tangent.
So
was
you dating this 21-year-old?
No. On her 21st birthday, I got so fucking hammered. I completely dipped out on them, and I caused the whole scene with an Uber driver. Because the bitch was taking forever. I do remember that. The bitch was taking forever. I saw her pass us 4, 5, 6 times. And I was jumping and waving at the bitch. And it took her what should have been a 6-minute Uber drive to come pick us up. Took her the better part of a half fucking hour. In the middle of winter. If you're not from Wisconsin, winters suck out there. And they're so cold. So imagine being out there, waving down your Uber driver that you know is your Uber driver, and waiting out there for 20-something minutes because it took her the better part of a half hour to get to the location. It wasn't a hard location.
Huh.
Yeah. So at that point I was pretty drunk. I was very drunk.
Yeah.
And so apparently, we were halfway there, and I was sitting with my other friend, and she's like, you were embarrassing the fuck out of me because all you were doing was talking shit to her. I was like, really? She's like, yes, Miguel, you called her a bitch. I'm like, oh shit. Man. She's like, I kept telling you, Miguel, shut the fuck up. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I do not remember that. I'm like, I apologize. She's like, it was kind of funny. Not at the moment it wasn't. But we got to the bar, and I remember her saying, I gotta use the bathroom. My roommate, whose birthday it was. She got into the bar. She's like, I gotta use the bathroom. I'm like, me too. I went to use the bathroom. For some reason, I came out, and I thought, I remember going upstairs to get to this bathroom. I didn't.
Yeah.
But for some reason I convinced myself I did. So I went down some stairs, and I must have stood in this little area for 10 minutes trying to figure out what the fuck had just happened. Because I'm outside, but I'm in a stairwell with access to an outside door, and now I can't get in the door I just came out of because it's locked. So where the fuck am I? And then everything started spinning, and I threw up on the stairs, and I sat there. And then I remember walking out, blacking out, and then laughing with all these people who I thought were my roommates and my friends, and my ex was not. It was not them.
Oh my god.
And then I remember laughing with these people. I remember this shoving around with this one guy, and we were laughing a lot. And I remember screaming at them from across because where were we? We were...
It sounds like you have interesting
We were on
stories.
State Street, and they were almost all the way past this bar called Whiskey Jack's, and I was on the other side, and I'm like, I'll see you later, just screaming obnoxiously, and they're laughing, and I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, God, it's so embarrassing because I look like a fucking idiot, and I'm sure they were laughing at me, not with me. I'm funny, I know, but God, so embarrassing. So I got my Uber, and I remember getting my Uber, and then waking up to my Uber driver yelling at me to get the fuck out. And I remember going to the door of my apartment, and it taking me better part of 10-20 minutes to get up to the 3rd floor and crawl my way to my apartment and pass out of my fucking bed. And then I wake up with my roommate. I wake up to 30 missed fucking calls, a shit ton of text messages from numbers I don't even know. and my roommates friends and my ex, and everybody's pissed at me. Not everybody, but my roommate is. Everybody else thought it was kind of funny. My ex even thought it was funny too. But
you did okay. So you didn't mean to ditch out.
I did not mean to ditch out. I did not mean to ditch out.
Okay, well then that makes sense. That's like That's forgivable.
Yeah. But it's funny because we talk about it, we joke about it now, but she was so fucking upset with me. I'm like, I was with you all night. She's like, we got to the first fucking bar and you disappeared. I felt so bad, dude.
Yeah.
That was when I was like, I need to take it easy. Because I always thought it was fun and funny, but they were like, no, you're a fucking asshole. I'm like, really? They're like, you just don't shut the fuck up. And you say whatever you want to say when it comes to your mind, and sometimes it's insulting.
And that
I'm like,
I
understand.
Too,
I'm like, I understand.
I've kind of
I
eased
apologize.
down on. I eased down on that a lot.
I thought it was just funny, and I told them, I'm like, I'm joking. I'm like, in an obvious way. I'm like, obviously I'm joking. I'm like, I think I could joke with you like that. They're like, yeah, but sometimes it's not okay. I'm like, when do I know that?
Never.
But I had female roommates, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Man. Guy roommates, they wouldn't have had an issue with that. And not trying to say, I don't want to make that whole.
Well, girl issue. Roommate. I mean, speaking of new girl, I'm just kidding.
Oh, new girl! Oh my god!
That's awesome.
But no, I think. What do you think? I think we should be wrapping up.
I think that's about it.
Yeah. So see, this is kind of just to wrap it up real quick. I think we're trying to just gain a little bit more structure to stick on subjects.
Yeah, because we suck at it.
Yeah. But I feel like first half horrible. We got to keep it though.
Terrible.
Second half not too bad. Because I feel like we were able to stay on subject a little bit.
The first half it was hard.
It was pretty rough.
It was rough.
Stick with us, guys. Please.
But yeah, the second half was good though. So
yeah.
Yeah, well that's
But I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We're at about 46 minutes now.
We're about 46 minutes, 47 around that time. So it was good. Follow us on all of our socials. We'll have them out. I don't know when this is releasing, but I know it's going to be
by our third one. When we release our third one,
we'll have most of our socials set up, and kind of have a basis on maybe hopefully videos, because I know we're not able to do one for a little while after today.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to.
And how our scheduling is, it's going to be once a week. I'm pretty sure I talked about the last episode. It's just because we don't really have time to hang out with each other as much as what we.
Again, we work. I work full time. You work part time. You got a lot of other stuff to do in your life. Yeah,
so it's just it's a lot of. We probably won't. We ain't able to hang out as much as we
we're
should
adults,
to have a full time podcast, but. We at least we're gonna put something out. So,
but that's what I'm saying. We're part-time friends.
Yeah.
We can at least get together like once a week to hang out.
Have a blast,
catch up. And talk with some people that might, like I said, relate. Find it a little inspiring or just something to pass by the time.
Yeah, and we should be here to hear our conversations. But thank you all for watching. Check us out in the next episode. What did I say?
Watching.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But thank you all for listening.
Yes.
Our next episode will be next Wednesday. So stick around from that episode. I think it'll be pretty funny. We have a little bit of a structure.
Yeah. I think we're getting it.
Yeah. We're gonna slowly get into it. So just stick with us. But anyways, thank you for listening. And I'll see y'all next time.